Hey guys, hey, I wanted to show you this Hap Jones mini bike. This is a Victor model. If you guys don't know who Hap Jones is, I should probably start there. A lot of you younger guys I know don't. If you're under 50, you probably don't even know who that was. But Hap was a racer back in the 1920s, racing 80 cubic inch Indians, and did fairly well. But in the 30s, I think it was 1937 if I remember right, Hap opened an Indian dealership in San Francisco, and the business did really well. And then after World War II, he bought up all of these war surplus Indians and Harleys that he could get his hands on, and sort of went national with his business, selling Indian Harley parts. He also started Hap Jones Distributing. I believe that was in the late 50s, early 60s. But if you were into motorcycling in the 60s or 70s, you definitely knew who Hap Jones was, or got their catalogs. They had aftermarket parts for just about every bike you can imagine. Huge distributor in the U.S., but one of the biggest. He also was Dick Mann's main sponsor. So if you know who Dick Mann is, I'll know all you older guys do. Hap Jones was the guy that was keeping him on the tracks and all. So this is a 1969 Mini. He got into making mini bikes, I believe, in 1967. Produced this is the Victor model. Produced this for sure in 67, 68, and 69. It went through a number of transitions. When they were first made, he was having the frames and tanks and seats and everything basically as Honda Z50 knockoffs, almost exact duplicates of the Hondas. And he was even in the beginning using actual Honda motors in his minis here. He went through a number of transitions, had some sort of dealing with Hidaka at some point. I think I'm not exactly sure what that was, but had some very Hidaka-like motors in them. Never actually had the Fuji motors in them, but like this one is, it's got a return spring on the kicker that's very similar to Hidaka, and just kind of looks like it in general. But went through a series of different motors. So sometimes you'll see Victors with this motopet motor. Sometimes you see them with the true Honda motors in them. Sometimes you see them with like a Honda knockoff motor. And then there's another couple of others over that 3-4 year period that he made these. So big variety. I'm not sure that one is more collectible than another, but just kind of part of what they went through. If you see any of the Hap Jones mini bikes with the Tecumseh, Briggs & Stratton style motors in them, those are almost all from 1970. And I think that may have been the last year that he produced them. Might have produced some into 71. But basically late 60s. So this is, as I said, this is what they call the Victor model. It says Victor in a number of spots on it. If you look at some of the early ones, they had a V on the brake backing plate. This one doesn't, being a 69 and with the bigger wheels. The ones with that said Victor here generally are on the small wheel set early bikes. But the tires say Victor. Let's see if I can get over here and get that in a shot. Right there it says Victor. The tubes actually say Victor on them. Let me come around to this other side here. This is the original license plate from California. 1971 was the last time this little bike was on the road. Let's see, we've got the knobs up here for lowering the bars. Those say Victor on them. Your gas cap here says Victor. This says on and, or off and on as well. That's just for venting. You can turn the vent off, turn the vent on. It doesn't actually shut off the gas, but it you know, stops you're able to close that up. And if you were gonna fold your bars down and shove this little bike in the back of your car or something, it wouldn't smell like gas, wouldn't be venting. The foot pegs right out here at the end, the foot peg rubbers say Victor on them. The lighting's really bad right now, so can't really see that, but maybe you can there. It says Victor right on the end. Up here in your toolbox, it's got a very Z50 Honda-like toolbox here. Your little tool pouch here says Victor on it. I think you can see that. Wish the lighting was a little better. So that's an original tool pouch. I think these fenders are specific to the Victor. I don't think they're quite the same as the Honda Minis, but up underneath here you've got a voltage regulator. You've got your starter solenoid over there. I don't know if I mentioned this little motor is actually electric start. You got a big battery underneath here. This is a 12-volt system. You've got a starter button up here. You've got your horn button over here. So electric start on this was, you know, kind of unusual for a Mini. Very cool little bikes. They've got, you know, they're a hard bike to come across. Most people have never heard of them, and most have never seen one. So that's why I wanted to make a quick video on this. And this one's, you know, very complete and mostly original. All the paint and all that was redone years ago, but it's in nice shape. Looks good. Some of these had chrome tanks. Some of them had chrome fenders. This one is a painted version, which there appears to be both chrome and paint. I don't know, you probably paid an extra $20 for the chrome version or something. But really neat little bikes. These original tires are in nice shape, and you know, it's been indoors. None of the, I assume it needs a battery for any of the electrical to actually work. Like right now, if I were to kick it over, it has great compression, by the way. If I were to kick it over, I don't get a spark, but I believe that's because there's no battery in it. I never bought it to even think about riding it. I just bought it as a collector's piece, just for the fact that it's unusual and for the fact that I really appreciate the history of Hap Jones and what he did for the motorcycle world, and just what a cool little bike this was that he produced. So that's it, you know, very Honda-like little seat here, and that's about it. But hopefully that'll help out you guys that are putting together a Hap Jones, or have one, or have never heard of one and just want to see what one looks like. So I believe that every one of these Victors that I've ever seen actually had fork boots on it, and I think because it looks like there's some old glue in there, I think these wipes here may have been put on after the original fork boots probably fell apart. But the forks actually work well. There's no dampening in them, obviously. There's just like the Hondas, it's just got a spring up above. But it gave you a little bit of suspension, a little moped style shocks in the rear. And that's about it. But hey, don't be afraid to pick up a Hap Jones. It may take you years to find the replacement parts, because parts are hard to come by. Better yet, find yourself one that's complete, if you can, like this one. It's in, nice, original, complete bike there, and then you don't have to worry about it. But if you're a mini bike collector, definitely one to keep an eye out for, because they don't come up very often. But thanks. Yeah, thanks for looking.